All right, welcome back. Okay, so we're at the last video of this module. Congratulations for making it this far. I knew you was a champion. I knew you wasn't one of these losers, right? You're a champion. I'm excited to see how successful you become. All right, so we're still in energy. We're still in energy. We talked about physical health, right? How we want to maximize it to increase performance and output so you can accomplish more in less time. We also talked about protecting your mental health, right? Having elite mental health, putting yourself in a peak state and controlling your state, building the habit so it becomes your personality, right? A productive, positive, energetic, enthusiastic warlord, right? And now we're going to talk about environment. Now we're going to talk about environment. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make. Because check this out. Your environment will directly impact your performance and your productivity. I mean, it will directly impact it 100%. You cannot get around this. Let me explain. This whole laptop lifestyle shit is a lie. All these entrepreneurs posting stuff on Instagram, even me with the laptop Instagram at the beach or even on a boat. This is fake. This was staged. There was nothing on this computer. It was off. And we just said, oh, let's do this. It'll be a cool video or image, right? Because we get laptop lifestyle. So everyone, I can work from the beach. Have you ever tried to work from a beach? It's a fucking nightmare. There's kids running around. There's fucking sand everywhere. There's no desk. Right? You know, there's no desk. How do you even work it? Sitting on or even if you can sit down at a desk, it's like there's glare from the sun. It's a nightmare. There's no way you can work at a beach and get more done than I can here in my office. There's no fucking way. It's impossible. All this laptop lifestyle shit is a fucking lie. It's a lie, right? You want to set up your environment for success. And this is one of the problems people want to have when they're entrepreneur, right? The biggest problem is you gotta dress for work. So let's say you're working for yourself, right? You're working for yourself. That's what you are. You got your own online fitness business, right? When I first took my business online and I would try to work from home, right? And I would work from home, but I would try to work, in my pajamas or my sleepwear or in my robe or whatever I slept in. So maybe I'm working out in nothing but underwear and one sock, right? I could not get as much work done. Why is that? Why is that? Because there's a mental association you have with certain clothes and certain behavior. When you have a robe on, your mind's going to associate that with chilling, right? Your mind is going to associate that with chilling, taking it easy. It's going to be so much harder to work. So what I did, and I read this in some books, right? I'm not making this stuff up. So what I did was I would still wake up early. I would shave, shower, and put on clothes. I even put on shoes. I had some shoes that I only wore in the house. And then I would go work. Then I would work, right? But I would work at a desk that I only worked at. All I did was work at that desk. I didn't try to work from bed or something. That doesn't work. And what I noticed, I was so much more productive because in my mind, you start treating it like a real job, right? This is a big, I want you to avoid this mistake. Dress for work. Even if you're just working for yourself, dress for work. And I don't have this on the list, but I meant to write it. Have a dedicated workspace. Don't try to work from your bed or from your couch with the TV on, right? Have a dedicated workspace where all you do is work. And what's going to happen is your mind, you dress up, you go to this workspace. After a while, your mind's going to associate work with that place, right? Just like when you go to a place that you have good memories, you start to remember those feelings, right? You want to have the productivity feelings with your workspace, right? And ideally, you want to do it alone. Right? So, close the door, lock the door, turn your phone off, eliminate distractions, unless you're working from your phone, but still, unless you're doing some of the work on the phone, like messaging people on Instagram or whatever. I'd still probably advise against that. I still probably do it on your computer. It's very important. It's critical. What you could do is go to a coffee shop. I know some people have success with that. For me, that's too much distractions. I need to work alone, but do whatever works for you, right? You want to be quiet. And you want to eliminate distractions, right? For example, as I'm recording this, I've been recording all these videos today. I recorded all these videos today in one go, right? And my phone was actually locked in the other room. I couldn't get to it because I didn't want no distractions, right? And oh yeah, I have a dedicated place for work. I did have it on. Don't try to multitask. Don't try to do a bunch of shit at once. Do one task at a time, complete it, then move to the next. All the research shows that human beings are very bad at multitasking. What happens is your brain, you're not multitasking, you're doing one at a time and you keep switching from task to task. The problem with that is your brain, there's a bit of time your brain takes to acclimate to a new task, right? And that time slows you down, right? So if you keep switching, now you got to go through that acclimation phase. It could be 10, 15 minutes or even 20 minutes, right? Before you actually get into it. And then by the time you get into it, now you go acclimate yourself. You spend 15, 20 minutes acclimating to another task. But if you would have just stuck with that task, you would just have one acclimation period and then you start to get in the zone, right? You start to get in the zone, you start knocking it out. You've experienced that when you start doing something and you get into the flow, all right? You never get that flow if you keep switching tasks. So you do one task at a time, do it till it's done, no distractions. Phone on airplane mode. I put mine in the other fucking room. Initially, when I started doing this, my mom was like, I can never talk to you during the day. And I was like, yeah, you can. I'm working, Mom. I love you, but I'm working. And she's like, oh, what if there's an emergency? I'm like, Mom, you live in Pennsylvania, right? I live in Manhattan. If there's an emergency, at best, I can get there in 4 hours, right? You know what I'm saying? If there's an emergency that needs to be handled within the next 4 hours, you're better off calling the cops anyway, right? And people get used to it. How many emergencies have you fucking had? You know, don't worry about it. It may seem harsh, but I'm relentless, right? And my mom doesn't have to pay. I mean, because I'm like this, my mom doesn't have to pay any bills. I handle all her expenses, anything she needs. Later today, I'm about to go buy her a Louis Vuitton purse for her birthday, right? The benefits outweigh not being able to talk to me for a few hours a day. Mom. My girlfriend said the same thing. I was like, okay, I can do that, but do you want to have to go get a job? Right? People will acclimate to it, or you cut them out your life. And my girlfriend, if this is a deal breaker, she can leave, man. It's cool. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? You know how many girls DM me and I ignore them? Chill out. Anyway, I went off the rails. This is very important. Don't multitask, right? And dress up for work. So let me give you an example. A lot of you guys, your coach is Deja. Basically, it was a student named Deja, and she and me and her were really close. And she was telling me, man, sometimes I just don't get enough work done. I got all day and I just don't get it done. And I was like, well, how are you trying to work? She was like, oh, well, and I asked her about it. It turns out she was trying to work from her bed with her pajamas on and shit, right? And I was like, yo, that's not gonna work. So I said, this is what you need to do tomorrow. I want you to get dressed like you were going to an office. Get dressed, put on your clothes, do your hair, makeup, the whole nine. Get dressed, and then start working at your desk. She said, man, I was so much more productive. But she said she was a little lonely because she was there all day. I was like, so all right, this is what you do. Now go to a coffee shop. Try the same thing, do the same thing, go to a coffee shop. And she went to the coffee shop, brought some headphones, and she said that was even better for her, right? So my Trilstein, who works here at HCT, he goes to coffee shops all the time because he just likes the environment. Doesn't feel as lonely, but he wears noise canceling headphones and he listens to white noise, right? So he doesn't get distracted, but he doesn't feel alone, and he gets so much done. Me, I need to be alone. That's me. But you got to find which one of those options work best for you. But it's imperative that you dress for work. Dress up. If you were to see me right now, I'm fully dressed. I'm at home recording this. I'm fully dressed, shoes on. I got my Rolex on. I got a bunch of jewelry on just for me because it's for my brain. No one's gonna see me, but I got $100,000 worth of jewelry on because it's to influence me, right? This is imperative. You got to do that. And that's how you set your environment up for success. Congratulations on completing the first module of HCT. Listen, all this stuff, it may seem difficult. I'm telling you, it may seem difficult and it's not easy. But this is how you're going to separate yourself from everyone else. This is how you're going to accomplish your goals. This is going to attack your dreams. All right. And I'm only asking you to do this for 90 days. Making $10,000 a month is fucking easy, bro. In comparison to making $1 million, making $1 million takes everything. Making $1 million a year takes everything. $10,000 a month, that's only $120,000 a year. That's light work. We have so many students who've done it. anyone can do it. Some of the people who've done it, there's nothing impressive about them, except for the fact that they were able to do all the stuff I just said, and they finished the modules. So check out the red. So let's get into the first module. We're going to talk about exactly how to build your online fitness business. But all this stuff was first. All this stuff was first because, listen, man, it all builds on this. Without this foundation, you're not even going to do all the stuff in the rest of the modules, right? So just dedicate yourself to doing this for 90 days, and let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Type in the Facebook group. How much? Type in the Facebook group. If you like the first module, if it was important to you, if you feel like it was life changing. A lot of people told me that I've done this presentation before for people, and they said it was a life changer, it's game changing, it was worth. People have said it is worth more than I could have charged extra just for this, right? You let me know. I think it's life changing. I think it's brilliant. I think it's borderline perfect. Let's see how it affects you. I know if you implement it, you'll feel the same way. Let's get into the first module of building your business. All right, let's go. And we're going to talk about building the first one. We're going to talk about building your niche, how you're going to set yourself apart from all the other trainers so you stand out and you can really make way more money than the traditional trainer who tries to make money online. Let's get into it.